Welcome to the Global Learning Road Less Travelled Information Session, your companion to researching less traditional overseas study options. For navigation, use the play and pause buttons at the bottom of your screen to start or stop the video. We suggest you watch the entire presentation to maximize your understanding of less conventional exchange options. We will also focus on reasons why you should consider these opportunities when shortlisting your 3 preferences for exchange. Here is a brief overview of today's session. We will clarify what is meant by the road less travelled. We will examine why you should consider these particular destinations over the more popular choices. We will discuss how to best use the information available to research effectively and efficiently these options. We will run through practical considerations, and we will end the session by examining a short dossier of exchange partners that for one reason or another fall into the category of the road less travelled. Here are some wise words. Put quite simply, an overseas study experience down the road less travelled sets you apart from the crowd because it says that you are willing to push those boundaries and do something different rather than what is easy or most commonly done. In today's world, an overseas study experience has become a rule rather than an exception for many graduates. And so to make yourself stand out in today's highly competitive employment market, it's often not enough to simply say that you have been on exchange. This is because so many students have done the same. But you can demonstrate that you are different by showing how your overseas study experience was uniquely transformative because of the destination you chose. By nature of the exceptional challenges you will be able to speak to as a result of the distinct location, it gives you a competitive edge when it comes to employability. Furthermore, you will stand out simply by not having conformed to the more mainstream exchange options that your competitors will have taken. The aim of today's session is to bed down the strategic advantages to these less conventional exchange destinations and to make the most of these fantastic opportunities. Essentially, the road less travelled in the context of exchange refers to a destination, be it city, country or exchange partner, where fewer people tend to go by default. This could be for any number of reasons. Understandably, English-speaking destinations are hugely popular. The road less travelled also refers to destinations away from big cities like London in the UK, choosing instead somewhere like Nottingham or Norwich. Or in China, looking beyond Beijing and considering Tianjin or Ningbo. In North America, thinking beyond global cities like Los Angeles or Montreal, and instead pursuing destinations like Austin or Quebec City. A destination off the beaten track is indicative of somewhere less well known, which provides opportunities for greater personal and professional development. This often diverges from the idea of the typical exchange experience in traditional well-known locations. Generally speaking, these are destinations with less of a global profile. Such options present you with an ideal opportunity to build an expertise in something with which fewer people have experience, making your personal exposure ever more valuable. It is not surprising that less traditional exchange destinations have fewer numbers of applicants simply because these destinations are less well known or heard of. Including these among your preferences will significantly increase your chances of being successfully allocated a destination. This is precisely because less people apply for them as a rule, meaning that you will be competing against far fewer people for a place there. You will also find these destinations often have more relaxed entry requirements or application criteria in order to boost the numbers of students applying. As a result, this can also work in your favor if your academic background is less competitive than that of your peers. The range of benefits is endless. Location-wise, less mainstream destinations will differentiate you from your exchange compatriots because it is human nature to remember more easily what is unusual rather than what is common or popular. Be the one person interviewed by a prospective employer who is specifically remembered because they were the only interviewee who went on exchange to Malaysia rather than the dozens of other interviewees who all went to the US. From an experiential perspective, destinations off the beaten track often provide students with an opportunity to have a more intimate or personalized interaction with their host location and community. Studying away from big cities provides increased opportunities to engage more easily with locals and have a greater immersion experience. This is especially so for language students who may wish to use their exchange abroad as a way to improve their linguistic proficiency. Bigger cities with a more pronounced global profile naturally have greater numbers of English speakers than in less urban locations. This can sometimes make language immersion more difficult in bigger global cities. Finally, locations with smaller populations or those which are further away from big cities customarily have a much lower cost of living, making the experience more affordable. Think of the road less traveled as a way to maximize your opportunities in relation to the 4 E's. Enrich, improving the quality of your exchange experience through increased cultural immersion. Enhance, magnifying the value of overseas exchange by the academic experience of a unique location. Engage, establishing a meaningful connection with your time away on overseas study in a way that is individualistic. Enlighten, acquiring greater knowledge and understanding about your time abroad in the context of the location you studied at and within the community you came to know. When it comes to number crunching, the figures certainly speak for themselves. People are often amazed by the literalness of this visual representation. You can literally choose the road less traveled where plainly it is easier for you to stand out because so few others will be walking that same path. Or you can opt for the road more traveled where it's significantly simpler to lose yourself among the crowd and be one of the many sharing that same journey. Researching options, particularly those on the road less traveled, can sometimes be a challenging task. We have put together some useful guidelines to make this exercise easier. Think of the practical considerations. The road less traveled is often uncharted. Do you have the dedication and conviction to follow it through and make it work where information may be difficult to come by or is less readily available? If there are language requirements, do you meet these or is it possible to meet them before you depart? Finally, consider subject availability. If you have found a destination where subjects taught in English are only offered through a specific faculty, do you have the necessary space in your degree to take those particular subjects either as degree electives or as breadth? If you have answered yes to all these questions, then taking the road less travelled for your exchange will result in it being time well spent. The more you consider less traditional exchange options, the more you will increase your chances of a successful nomination and the more your research will have paid off. You will of course be afforded the chance to pursue opportunities that never even entered your mind and potentially minimise your expenditure by considering less touristic bustling centres. For obvious reasons, the UK, Canada and the US factor prominently as the most popular destinations worldwide for exchange. But it doesn't stop there. Remember that there are other worthwhile English-speaking exchange destinations available. Perhaps you could consider University College Dublin in Ireland, the University of Auckland or the University of Otago in New Zealand, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, or perhaps Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. Undoubtedly, the best ambassadors for the road less travelled are the students who have already taken the plunge. When it comes to studying off the beaten track, hearing what other students have to say is particularly insightful because they've already been down that road and often have many tips and words of advice to share from their own experience. We encourage you to make use of these connections. The Global Learning Advisors are more than happy to put you in touch with returned exchange students who have already been to these destinations, so feel free to ask if you're interested to learn more from a past student. It can also help enormously in allowing you to manage your own expectations. In some instances, there are significant scholarships or funding opportunities of which you can take advantage when it comes to these less conventional destinations. Remember that because less students traditionally apply for these institutions, several exchange partners offer financial incentives in order to increase their institutional appeal to prospective exchange applicants. These can include a monthly stipend, provision of accommodation free of charge, or in some case, the covering of your travel expenses to and from the host location. There are also prestigious government grants currently available, such as the New Colombo Plan, which offers a variety of funding opportunities, so make sure you do not discount these financial incentives. The road less travelled will also work to your advantage when it comes to life beyond university study. In this particular example, we have a French language student who opted to study in Quebec City, Canada, rather than the more traditional French-speaking destinations such as France, Belgium and Switzerland. It was, she said, the best decision she made when it came to her exchange. The decision to do so distinctly set her apart from her competitors during the interview process for the graduate position for which she applied after completing her degree. This is another excellent case of how the road less travelled extends beyond the physical exchange experience and will segue into other far-reaching aspects of your own personal life journey. A great place to start is by attending one of the various information sessions run throughout the semester. Doing your own research is also paramount. Use the filters on the Exchange Partners page of the Overseas Study website to narrow down your search and start creating a realistic shortlist. There is a vast amount of online information available on each brochure page we have created for every exchange partner. In addition, you can also book in for a consultation with a Global Learning Advisor. They are a wealth of information and will be able to point you in the right direction. In terms of actually exploring your options, the success you realize will largely depend on the time and effort you invest into your research. Don't forget to also visit our social media pages to see what return students have to say about their own first-hand exchange experience. Do not underestimate the power associated with word of mouth. Now that you have a better idea about the road less travelled when it comes to exchange, the next step will be to ask questions. Here are various global learning events available across the semester that you can tap into. The last segment of this session will see us run very briefly through a short dossier of less traditional exchange partners. All institutions being showcased are full comprehensive institutions. As general agreements, they are open to all University of Melbourne students from all disciplines and faculties unless otherwise stated on their respective brochure page within the Study Overseas website. Some of them belong to the prestigious Universitas 21 affiliation of institutions, a network of research-intensive universities renowned for the quality of their academic research who foster global collaboration and cross-cultural exchange. Our first showcase destination is National Taiwan University. Founded in 1928 by the Japanese colonial administration ruling Taiwan at the time, it is the most prestigious university in Taiwan. Located in the heart of Taipei, the Taiwanese capital, it is easily accessible by public transport at the conveniently located Gongguan Underground Metro station. With an extensive range of subjects available in English as well as in Mandarin, the institution offers a slightly more westernized experience of East Asia for anyone trepidatious about a cultural leap to this part of the world. That, combined with a very affordable cost of living, makes this destination a must for anyone considering the Chinese-speaking world. Other possibilities when considering the road less travelled in East Asia include Nankai University, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, University of Nottingham Ningbo, Zhejiang University, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and Korea University. Our second showcase destination is Thailand's Chulalongkorn University. The university's leafy green campus is located in the heart of Bangkok. It now has 18 faculties and approximately 35,000 students, counting as a notable alumnus Nelson Mandela, who received an honorary doctorate from the institution in 1997. This institution is especially renowned for its extensive range of subjects within the field of architecture. Despite the size and relatively high level of development compared to other cities in Southeast Asia, Bangkok can be an incredibly affordable place to travel if you're willing to live and eat like a local, making it appealingly economical. Other options for studying off the beaten track in the Asia Pacific include Hokkaido University, Tohoku University, University of Malaya, Nanyang Technological University, University of Auckland, and University of Otago. The third showcase destination is Ghent University in Belgium. The campus itself is scattered throughout the city and is accessible by foot or bicycle. Once one of Belgium's medieval powerhouses, the city became a centre of wealth and culture due to its prominence in the textile industry and is centrally located 30 minutes from Brussels, the Belgian capital, a major European transport hub. Travelling by the convenient Thalys or Eurostar train, Ghent is also a mere 2.5 hours from Amsterdam, 3 hours from London, and 3.5 hours from Paris. Although it has managed to stay out of the limelight in more recent times, the city is a real hub for culture and music. Other less traditional exchange destinations in mainland Europe would see you consider University of Tartu, University of Latvia, Vilnius University, Jagiellonian University, University of Trento, and Grenoble Alpes University. Our next showcase destination is Finland's University of Helsinki. Located in Northern Europe, despite its close proximity to Sweden, Norway and Denmark, it is not technically part of Scandinavia, but rather is a Nordic country. The city itself is quite reasonably priced and is a much cheaper option than its neighbours. Language barrier is no issue whatsoever in this part of the world, as locals are educated in both Finnish and English. Accordingly, there is an extensive range of subjects taught in English across multiple faculties. It is also an excellent option for anyone studying in the field of media and communication or publishing at the graduate level. Other less conventional exchange opportunities across the UK, Ireland and Scandinavia encompass University of Iceland, Malmo University, University College Dublin, University of Reading, University of Nottingham and University of East Anglia. Our final showcase destination of the session is the University of Connecticut in the United States. Known colloquially as UConn, the institution offers an authentic American experience in many ways. Located in a village called Storrs, with 76.1% of the population aged between 18 and 24, it is the quintessential university college experience unique to the US. Storrs is significantly cheaper as a destination than other locations in the country and is only a 2-hour drive from Boston. The institution is a member of the Universitas 21 global network of research-intensive universities, so definitely a frontrunner when it comes to research and collaboration on a global scale. Finally, other non-traditional exchange possibilities in the Americas extend to options such as Queen's University at Kingston, Laval University, Dalhousie University, University of Texas at Austin, University of Maryland, and Tec de Monterrey. That brings us to the end of this session. We hope you have found this topic regarding exchange options on the road less travelled to be both inspirational and exciting. We trust this has spurred you on to study off the beaten track and undertake an exchange to one of these fantastic destinations. For further information, please come and see the relevant global learning advisor for your destination. Otherwise, we wish you every success with your exchange application.